Hey everybody, and welcome to this special and transiting Mercury in Pisces. So Mercury transits in Pisces about once a year or twice if there's a retrograde. So now I'm just going to talk about the positives, negatives, psychological meanings and the best use for transiting Mercury in Pisces, so it can increase our intuition and our psychic abilities, can make us more creative and imaginative, giving us the ability to connect with others on a deeper emotional level. Negatively, we can escape, wanting to numb ourselves from our pain, so we can overindulge in intoxicating substances and toxic relationships and just toxic behaviours as well. We can also find it hard to make rational decisions, and we can also find it overwhelming because we can be sensitive to criticism or moody. We can ignore red flags on purpose as well because we want to daydream, we want to escape, we want to, not face reality as well. Psychologically, it can increase our emotional intelligence. When Mercury is in Pisces, it encourages us to listen to our instincts and trust our gut feelings, and a lot of us do find it hard, especially when we have toxic thoughts and thoughts going around, so we can find it hard to stay grounded. But ultimately, this energy allows us to explore our subconscious, be self-reflective, and start working on or continue the work of healing our unforgiveness, self-guilt, shame, and build more self-love and nurturing and empathy into our lives. So ultimately, the best use of Mercury in Pisces is to engage in creative activities like writing, dancing, painting, gaming, designing, singing, connecting with your intuition and trying to trust the messages that it brings to you, especially ones that if it tells you that everything's going to be okay and that you can do it and stuff. Also, maybe journaling or meditation, connecting deeper with others, seeking out help for any addictive behaviours. Also, trying to do our best to stay grounded and avoid numbing ourselves or escaping from reality right now. So now I'm just going to talk about the specific aspects that Mercury makes this year when it goes into Pisces. So Mercury enters Pisces from the 7th of March right up until the 25th of March this year, and then it enters Aries on the 25th of March. So when Mercury is going into Pisces this year, Sun's making a conjunction to Mercury, so this can make us more, intellectually kind of switched on. So this can increase our communication skills. We can be more wittier, more humorous, so just communicate with others in a way that helps them to understand us. It can bring clarity and a sense of purpose to transiting Mercury in Pisces, and it can bring clarity and a sense of purpose to Mercury in Pisces, sort of allowing us to shine our ideas more brightly, to have more clearer thinking and not want to escape. So it adds to us wanting to, giving us the power, the vibe, the support to deal with our problems. So although we may sort of face problems, the energy is there for us to overcome it. Mercury semi-sextile to Venus also happens as Mercury goes into Pisces this year, and it's a tight kind of aspect, although it's separating, but it's only at a 0.03 up, so it's still highly influential over the next few weeks while Mercury's in Pisces. It wants us and helps us to repair and find harmony and balance and mutual understanding in our relationships, helps us to have more pleasant conversations even if they are hard. It brings a sort of charm and a kind of light-heartedness even to conflict-filled situations, which is good because, we couldn't feel triggered at this time, and our initial reaction can be to react or overreact to this energy, although subtle, can make us just more open to understanding and getting over things and dealing with things as well. Also can make people more persuasive, so good for sales and marketing work, but also people can be more slicker in their and smooth in their persuasive skills and deceive us, so just watch out for that on the negative end as well. Mercury also makes a conjunction to Neptune, so Neptune rules Pisces, so again this adds to the negatives of running away from our emotions and stuff, but also allows us to be more kind of open to the dreamy and mystical quality of life, and this can show up in our communication. People can talk on a deeper level, not necessarily a spiritual level, but a deeper level right now. Also allows us to have deep insights into our own sort of like personality or our situations or problems we may be facing. Also allows ourselves to be more creatively expressive, but also adds to the confusion and miscommunication that can happen while Mercury is in Pisces. So it's important once again to use our judgment and be discerning and to find clarity, and if we can't, seek out people who can help us, or take some time out from making decisions that can affect our life. Also, when Mercury goes into Pisces this year, there's a T-square between the midheaven, Venus, Mars and Uranus. So a T-square in astrology is seen as a challenging sort of alignment, because the planets sort of make a pattern that looks like a T, and it can signal tension and conflict, and we can find it hard to find harmony in our relationships and ourselves right now with this energy as well. So this is influencing the whole 3-ish to 4-ish weeks that Mercury is in Pisces. So positively, it can make us more creative and innovative, and we can be open to exploring new ways of communication, and it pushes us to think outside of the box and come up with unique solutions and approaches to our problems, so it supports us in doing that, but negatively adds to the miscommunication and confusion that can happen, and it can just lead to disagreements, and this miscommunication can lead to disagreements and misunderstandings, and this can just cause problems, as I said. So just be careful of how you say things. Try and stay grounded and try and check facts, and allow yourself to open up to the emotional healing and stability and openness that this energy can bring on the positive, and try and limit the negative effects of this energy. So yeah, that's the end of the summary version of what happens when Mercury transits in Pisces. Now if you want to know more about the practical, political, spiritual, karmic and emotional and creative meanings, and what it means more for our family, committed and hookup relationships, and the best things for lovers and alternative healers and entrepreneurs and professionals to do, and a lot more, then listen on. You're about to be amazed. So astrologically, Mercury in Pisces increases our intuitive and imagination. Our thoughts can become more dreamy and poetic, and it allows us to tap into the deeper realms of our consciousness. Practicality can take a back seat right now during this transit, and we can float around and along on a cloud of inspiration and creativity. On the worldly level, it wants us to be sort of like just be a bit more optimistic about our finances and material possessions. We may not have as much money as need or want and much possessions as we want, but it's about giving thanks and doing the best with what we have right now as well as for some of you can use manifestation techniques and visualization techniques and other things that are metaphysically aligned to help you manifest the things you need to. It's a very powerful manifestation energy, Mercury in Pisces, especially with the thoughts and the words that we say, so we have to be careful and be more conscious of what we say and what we allow ourselves to think, because this energy, because it's in the 12th house, it's subconscious, it's mystical, it's spiritual, it can speed up our manifestations as long as we are willing to work hard and take the practical actions, as well as, thinking it is half of it and believing in it and having self-belief, but actually taking actions to align with the manifestations is important. And this is sometimes the point that most people slack on, and they're like, oh, manifestation don't work. Of course we're not going to get everything that we want, but also we need to take practical actions. Politically, it emphasises the need for compassion, empathy and understanding in our interactions with others. It wants us to seek common ground and work towards peaceful resolutions rather than engaging in decisive debates with others. It's a time to bridge gaps and build bridges, both on a personal and global scale. Spiritually and esoterically, transiting Mercury in Pisces opens a gateway to a higher realm of consciousness. It invites us to explore the mysteries of the universe and connect with our spiritual essence. It can also be a great time for self-reflection, meditation, and just the contemplation, thoughts about what we're seeking in life, how we can bring more peace into our life, how we can bring more openness and spirituality and self-love and forgiveness and understanding and empathy, as well as healing and management as well. Symbolically, Mercury in Pisces represents the merging of the logical side of ourselves and the more intuitive side of ourselves, creative sides, reminding us that there's wisdom to be found in both rational thinking and intuitive knowing. And I vouch for that. When I was just maybe too rational and overthinking, it didn't work. When I was too fair and intuitive, it didn't work. So the balance is key in all things in life. It encourages us to trust our instincts and remove the barriers that stop us from doing this, Creatively, this transit can set our imagination on fire, bringing a wave of, artistic inspiration. We can find ourselves drawn to various forms of creative expression, whether it be composing music, producing music, singing, dancing, painting, writing. Our minds can become a canvas for vivid images, and our words can flow more effortlessly onto paper, capturing the essence of our emotions and innermost thoughts. During this time, Mercury in Pisces also encourages us to explore the depths of our subconscious mind and to delve into the realm of our dreams and symbolism, uncovering hidden meanings and messages that guide us along our spiritual journey. And as we tap into this vast ocean of knowledge, we are able to channel our insights into our daily lives, allowing us to navigate challenges with newfound wisdom and clarity. Emotionally, this transit of Mercury in Pisces brings an increased sensitivity and compassion, and we can find ourselves more attuned to the emotions of others, being able to emphasize and offer support when needed. It's a time to connect with our emotions as well, allowing ourselves to feel deeply and process any unresolved feelings that we have. So now I'm just going to talk a bit about the karmic lessons and the past life implications of transiting Mercury in Pisces. So karma refers to the cosmic law of cause and effect, where our past actions can determine our present experiences. And because so many of us don't deal with, forget about past lives, because so many of us don't deal with the things that happen in this life to us, we can always be repeating the sort of like our past and never getting over it, So when Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, transits through Pisces, that's known for its more intuitive and compassionate nature, the karma that comes up during this time revolves around the way we communicate and express ourselves. It pushes us to reflect on our past choices, especially about the way that we speak and talk and listen. It wants us to provide an active listening space for ourselves and others, especially if we've been neglectful or deceitful in our communications. This transit serves as a reminder to rectify those past mistakes, and sometimes we can't say sorry to the people directly, maybe writing to them, or maybe just forgiving ourselves for the times we've hurt others or not lived up to our promises or deceived others or been neglectful, whatever it is. Forgiveness of our communication, sort of lack of or over communication, just forgiveness of anything to do with the way that we treat ourselves and others in the past. It sort of like encourages us, as I said, to be more compassionate in our conversations, especially our self-talk, to ourselves and our thoughts, and to speak from the heart and listen more attentively and empathetically to ourselves and others. So in terms of the karmic lessons that we should learn from Mercury being in Pisces, it wants us to work more with our intuition and maybe sort of like develop or continue to develop our psychic abilities, knowing that it can only get deeper and deeper. There's levels and levels to psychic development. We are never arriving, we are always arriving. So this transit can increase our sensitivity and just allows us to tap into those deeper realms of consciousness. It wants us to pay attention to the subtle messages that we receive from within and trust our inner wisdom. By embracing this intuitive energy, we can make better decisions and navigate through life with more clarity. In terms of the past life implications, lives where we sort of like misuse communication or misuse our intuition, where we kind of were neglectful in using our communication talents, for the greater good, as well as sort of like wanting us to really just get to the bottom of why we sort of like don't use our intuitive or psychic abilities in this life, and why we may have misused them in our past lives. Not everybody's going to have like a conscious remembrance of their past lives. Now it could come through dreams or just subtly in the experiences that happen to you right now as well. But ultimately the lessons that we need to learn right now is that not to misuse or neglect our intuitive, more subtle, natural gifts and abilities, and how to develop our natural gifts and to trust our intuitive thinking more, because a lot of the times our logic can explain to us why this and that happened, and we can overthink and think of it from different angles, but intuitively our intuition it talks to us more in subtle terms in yes and no, and sometimes you can say no, don't get involved with that person, can just get a feeling, and because it just gives us that feeling of no and not no deeper explanations, we often ignore it, and this can lead us to repeating our past. So right now it's about learning to get more in touch with our intuitive abilities and using them for a greater purpose rather than neglect using them or manipulating others with our intuition and psychic abilities. Now I'm just going to talk more about how Mercury and Pisces affect our family, friendship, co-worker, committed and hookup relationships. So in terms of family bonds, it can make us more compassionate and empathetic. We can have more sensitive discussions with our close ones, and this can make us feel closer together, and it can make us understand each other more and deepen our emotional connections with each other. But negatively, these increased emotions can lead to misunderstandings and overreactions, and we can just feel triggered. So just try and be gentle, try and resolve any conflicts that come up. In terms of friendships, when Mercury's in Pisces, it wants us to have more empathy in our relationships. It can help us get more real and raw and authentic in our interactions. And what's good about this energy, because nowadays we can just text, speak, voice note and have no real face-to-face or your actual telephone, mobile, whatever, actual voice-to-voice attentive time with each other. So this allows us to be more attentive in our friendships as well, but we can run the risk of becoming too emotionally involved, and this can blur boundaries and cause complications in the friendship. So maybe, when it comes to acquaintances or people you don't know, you may open up to them and it can cause problems. Just make sure you stick to their boundaries and your boundaries, and just make sure you're not giving anything that you don't want to give, and also receiving things from others that you don't really want to receive because they've got strings attached. So just watch out with that. But ultimately, in terms of friendship, Mercury and Pisces just brings a sense of deeper togetherness. In terms of co-work relationships, it can help us work together, be more compassionate there as well. But also we can have the same problems with people being oversensitive to criticism and misinterpreting messages. You could be kind and someone can take this as you being romantic and stuff, so just watch out for that. In terms of committed relationships, it brings more intimacy. We can have deeper conversations, we can be more emotionally sensitive, and we can trigger each other on the negative end, and again, misunderstandings, so just be careful. But ultimately, we just have to watch out for overindulging in drugs and alcohol, in committed relationships and distractions, and get to the real issues that we usually avoid in intimate relationships, and just try and be more open and honest and work through any problems together rather than ignoring them or running away from them together as a unit. You can face them. In terms of hookup relationship, it brings more emotional intensity and romance. People can become too idealistic though and have unrealistic expectations, so just make sure you state your boundaries, what it is you're looking for from this hookup. Make sure you get consent and you respect other people's boundaries and ask questions about what they want, because people can be more absent-minded, and we just want to make sure that everything is above board and everybody's needs are respected, and just be honest as well, and try not to lie and deceive others, and also don't try and not to ignore red flags as well, because we can be all up for that during this time. So this energy can make us want to be lied to, just so we can just get away from dealing with ourselves, so as a sort of escape mechanism. So just, I know it can be hard, but do your best to face your problems head on, and Mercury in Pisces supports us in doing this as well. In terms of career development, we can become more creative and think outside of the box. It's important to trust your instincts and follow your gut feelings when making career decisions at this time. Also great for changing your career to a more creative or spiritual one that align with your true passions and interests, or making a plan, a 5-10 year plan to do so. Also, it can make you be good in jobs right now that require you to have empathy and compassion and connect with others on a deeper level. In terms of spiritually, it allows us to be more self-reflective and explore our inner worlds. Everything can become like a waking meditation right now if you allow it. It allows you to connect with your higher self and spirit guides, and it's also a good energy to practice being more mindful, engaging in prayer and rituals, and digging deeper into spiritual practices that resonate with you right now. In terms of personal growth, it can allow us to explore our subconscious mind and heal the emotional baggage that's holding us back. Some of us may experience vivid dreams or intuitive insights that provide valuable guidance for your personal journey, so it's important to listen to your inner voice and trust the wisdom that emerges during this transit. In terms of education, it allows us to think outside of the box, embrace abstract concepts and understand them, so it's great for understanding things that you don't normally understand, and exploring art and literature and philosophy and even spiritual teachings. Training yourself to learn yourself on the psychological and emotional levels, how do you best learn, what sort of mood state, so this can promote you and your educational learning on a deeper level, and it can help you understand more complex ideas easily, and also you can just intuitively understand things during this energy as well while Mercury's in Pisces. And don't be afraid to be more curious and pursue educational opportunities that align with your true passions and interests at this time. So now I'm just going to finish up by talking about the best things for creatives, professionals and entrepreneurs and alternative healers and lovers to do when Mercury is in Pisces. So as I said, for creatives, use this energy to have breakthroughs in your projects, and it gives us a fertile ground for creative plans. So anything you want to do, writing, dancing, gaming, whatever it is, coding, this can help you push forward in your projects. On the professional level, it allows us to come up with fresh solutions and look at things from a different perspective, brainstorm new ideas. That's the best use of this energy, and to use your intuition and make intuitive leaps in your professional life, and just have yourself open to working with others and just exploring unconventional solutions to your professional problems right now. Entrepreneurs can use this energy to connect with like-minded people, share your visions with them, embrace their imaginative and visionary qualities of Pisces to develop new strategies and make bold moves in your entrepreneurial journey. Alternative healers can use this energy to sort of like just focus on their own emotional and spiritual well-being, because this is what's best for your clients as well. Exploring different techniques such as different meditation techniques or energy healing, intuitive readings, and things that help you deepen your connection with yourself and your clients right now. The compassionate nature of Pisces can increase our ability to emphasize and provide healing. For lovers, this can bring a romantic and dreamy atmosphere, so use this time to express your love and affection in creative ways. Write heartfelt letters, plan surprise dates, and indulge in romantic gestures that will sweep your partner off your feet. The intuitive energy of Pisces can help you understand your partner's needs and desires on a deeper level, creating a strong bond between you both. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth explanation of all the different angles of what to do and how Mercury transiting in Pisces can impact us. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.